Guys, what's going on? Good evening. I'm here. I've got Natalie Wynn with me. I'm going to bring her in just a second. So she's a life coach, consultant, and community developer. And I'm going to bring her in. Natalie, what's up?
Hey,
How
hey
you doing?
guys. Good. How are you?
Cool. I'm doing really well. So word on the street has it that you went to go get the perfect signal in order to so we could chat and have a conversation.
Yes, you guys are getting a live experience of me in my car at the Spanish Fort Park so I can get better service because when you live in Bay Minette, you don't always have the best options on Wi-Fi. So I'm
So
coming to you live from my car.
live from the car in the Spanish Fort Park. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Oh wait, so what's the deal? The internet y'all have, at your house, it's satellite internet?
Yes,
All right.
HughesNet. And we pay
Houston.
$100 a month and we still can barely stream like one Netflix show before it all goes out. So
That's crazy. Elon Musk is like changing all that right now. You know that?
no, I don't. I know he's like insane, but
Well, yeah, he is insane. He's like making ventilators right now or whatever. So he has imagine this, he has a company. I think it's called Starlink or whatever. They're literally like, as we speak, they just launched a bunch of satellite. Like they're launching satellites in order to connect the globe with satellite internet. Like, so mainly for people in rural areas. And you may be you may switch to Starlink internet from HughesNet when it gets live and when it gets going. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I mean, we live 5 minutes from major public schools, so I don't know how our Wi-Fi is so horrible, but it is.
I don't know, but I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to connect with you. So if people don't know, Natalie is actually, she's one of our speakers that was I'll say was going to be at the April 10th BizCon, which is postponed to a future date. We don't even know the date yet. This is insane. So I'm pretty sure everyone can guess like why it's postponed. You know, every event known to mankind right now is postponed, right? So so we thought we'd get Natalie to hop on the phone and us chat and talk marketing, branding. You and me were talking the other day, and I found it really interesting, specifically about like just an example, like the fast food industry. I thought that was crazy. We were talking about that, and we can chat about that. But also just as important is, I think like the mental health of folks, right? Because that's crazy right now, right? People aren't used. I think people aren't used to like working remote at home or whatever. Like a lot of folks aren't used to it. I mean, I think there's a lot of folks that are used to it and they know that it can get lonely or whatever. And so everyone's going through this new stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure. It's even for me, I've always been interacting with people on a daily basis. And I'm an extrovert. So it's something for me that I'm like craving one-on-one time with people. And, we're obviously able to do the virtual side of things, but having quality time with people is something that I think a lot of us are missing out on right now. And it does start to wear on you, and just even being cooped up in your house wears on your mental health in general.
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot of days. 3 days, 4 days, and you start to go, whoa, man, what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It gets pretty crazy. So what are some, so for folks that don't already have like a game plan for themselves, that have never experienced this before, like, I don't know, do you just have some thoughts on it? Like in the realm of like mental health and coaching, just like tips or thoughts or things people should do or whatever?
Yeah, I've been thinking about it a lot myself because I realized within, we really haven't been in it that long, but for thinking even future, okay, what is a week from now? What does 2 weeks from now look like? And trying to be preparing for like what could happen with our stay at home, with our mental health, where we're at with taking care of ourselves. And I think it was fun for a couple of days for some people of like, man, I can binge Netflix, I can chill, I can eat whatever I want, just kind of like it's a vacation. That was for some. Now, obviously, some are still like fully in work. Some people are fully working from home. So everybody has like a different experience right now. My husband is going to work all the time. I'm staying at home working from my computer, but my schedule is very flexible. So I think it's like case by case basis, but
Mm-hmm.
in general, I think routine is really important because we're creatures of habit. And so I know for me, if I'm not sticking to like a normal routine of planning my day and having my morning, uh, morning routine, as I call it, where I get up and I read, I journal, I pray, and just like get my mind in a gratitude state.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and if I'm not doing that on a regular basis, I notice that it wears on my mental health, that my joy kind of disintegrates, my peace kind of goes away when I'm not making that time intentionally in the mornings. That's one thing that works for me. So trying to like continue what was I doing 2 weeks ago when my life was like full blast, regular
Yeah.
schedule. Um,
Are you
and
are you finding it harder? Are you finding it harder or easier to have that routine that you had before now, or the same, harder, or easier?
yeah, so last week I didn't do it at all. I was I think, just kind of going with the flow, but I started to realize by the end of the week that I was, pouring wine way too early in the evening, uh, not working out as much, not eating as healthy, just the things that are normally a priority for me, I was kind of putting on the back burner, which I think is good for all of us at times to just like relax a little because we're
Mm-hmm.
always so go go. But okay, I had my time. I had a week, to just do whatever I wanted, but now I need to get refocused.
Yeah.
So I think last week was really great because that was the first week of it, and we all got to kind of see what life was looking like. But now this week has been like, okay, we're really in it. And what is life looking like now for us?
Yeah.
So
So okay, so last week is like the whatever. This week it's like, whoa, we're settling into this. Like now what? Like don't,
yeah,
if you repeat last week again, that would probably be the not a good path long term for whatever for people or
yeah,
whatever. Um,
yeah.
got
So
you.
my like having a plan every day is a big thing for me. That helps me to feel like even if I'm going to be staying at home all day, or if I'm going to be staying at home with a couple errands to run, I've done like Target where they pull up and they put it in the back of your car if you need a few things. So I'm social distancing for myself and my health and others' health, but I know some people have to still go to work and be interacting with people. So
Yeah.
the days look different, but I think for me personally, having a plan, regardless of what my day looks like, I need to know, okay, what am I doing in the morning? What am I doing in the afternoon? What am I doing in the evening? Not just like, I have no idea what I'm going to do today, because when your mindset is like, I don't even know, then you start to kind of panic or
Mm-hmm.
like feel down, like, I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. What is life? And you kind of spiral. So planning ahead, I think, really helps with that.
I think that's huge. Yeah, you saying that is really interesting. Like something as simple. So for me to recap what you just said, something as simple as having a plan for the day can help you not spiral to eventually have a question of like, what even is life?
Yeah.
Like you just kind of you took longer to get there, but that's kind of where you went with that. And I'm like, man, that's a good point. Like that can
Yeah.
not knowing what you're going to do that day or for the next hour can keep going out of control or whatever. That's a good point. Do you just personally, I'm curious, do you plan your day like in the morning, or are you like, okay, what do I need to do today? Or do you do it the day before? Do you set at the end of the day, are you like, man, this is what I'm going to try to do tomorrow? Just personally, I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
I've tried out both ways. I find that planning in the morning, on like basic to dos and tasks, but anything, like us talking tonight, I would have planned 2 days ago and put it in my calendar so that I would know ahead of time. So, but I
Mm-hmm.
normally sit down in the morning, and as part of like my morning routine, I look at my day and I plan it all out. I write down everything that I want to accomplish. And especially right now where I have so much free time, I'm really trying to look at like, okay, what is my life going to look like a year from now, and what are some things I could be doing right now to be intentional with making sure that a year from now I'm where I want to be.
That's a good point. Like now more than ever. So like two things with the having the extra time, I think like having the extra time, it's more important than ever to have the stuff written down, what you need to do. Otherwise you can really get lost. Cause if you have, when you have more time, right, you have more time to get confused and just whatever, like, oh, like what am I doing right now? But also having that time, if you are struck, and this is what I find really important about like what's going on right now is that like having this extra time, there are going to be people that make huge leaps and bounds just across all kinds of fronts. So across personal fronts, business fronts. So having that time allows you to do what you said, like in your personal life, you said, let me look a year ahead. Like where do I want to be a year from now? It's really hard to find that time in everyday life when you're packed out and jammed and busy. So the people that are willing to do what you're talking about doing right there, and businesses that are willing to do what you're talking about doing, I think are going to win like long term, like they're going to survive. And so I like just kind of go down that vein a little bit. More and more conversations of people that are conversations I'm having with folks. Like I had one today of a guy, restaurant business, his family restaurant business there in Baton Rouge. I met him for the first time today. They're actually going to be decent. I mean, they're going to be okay. He was like, so even before they got mandatory shutdown in Louisiana, he's like, their restaurant had decided to close down. They took a loan, pay their employees. That was a decision that they had made, which is kind of wild, but they were in the position to be able to do it. Well, he was like, man, we're closed down right now. It's a family restaurant. So he was like, we're like revamping inside. We're developing a delivery something and something else that he mentioned. And I was like, oh my gosh, man, like there's no way you would have been able to do those things if you were open and operating normally right now. So it's really the opportunity. I mean, it's definitely making lemonade out of lemons, right? Because no one wants to be shut down. We don't want people to get sick. We don't want a virus around. But like people having the opportunity, okay, I'm shut down. Now what am I going to do? Am I going to sit and like binge Netflix all day long, 24 hours, which you know, or am I going to like, okay, do some things to look a year ahead of my life, or like look at my business and say, man, like what are the things that I don't ever get time to do because I'm always like working in the business or whatever. And like, give us a week and let's work on this giant project that I don't know. I actually got kind of excited when he was talking about it today. Cause I was like, man, like just think of the businesses. I hate this, but I think a number of businesses are never going to open their doors again. I hate to say that. I just think it's kind of factual. Like a lot of, especially small business runs on really thin margins. Like if they, it's going to be tough, right? But so just think of that when the demand opens back up and the faucet opens back up and everyone is ready to, hey, I'm ready to go out to eat again. Like people are going to want to eat. And so if there are half of the restaurants that there were, those restaurants are going to get twice the amount of business is what's going to happen, you know?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even like I know for me and a lot of people, they're missing their gyms right now because fitness centers are closed. And I've seen so many fitness centers that I follow on Instagram. They're offering live workouts almost every day for their people because they want to keep that community and that partnership. But so many people could be like, well, we can't work out now, so I guess we're going to have to close. And I know that it's a risk you have to take, but if you can like hunker down for a month and like really invest in your online community and giving back, if it's something where like whenever you do reopen, you do a giveaway of a free month for certain people or whatever it might be, but trying to like not let it get you down, but think about how you can, you know, pivot, as I know you've been talking about a lot, to try to make sure that your brand is ready to come back and do deep cleaning and take bad reviews and see how you can make them better and that kind of thing.
100%. So imagine the example you just gave, that's actually a really good one, gyms, right? So if gyms, if they choose to not do anything and not cultivate their community and they're like, oh, I don't know, I guess we're closed. When we reopen, everyone will come back. They may lose half their customers to another gym that was doing online training that someone went to. They may lose customers to someone that does, I don't know, that's already been doing online. Like I'm actually technically a beach body like coach, and Mandy, Mandy, my wife. So she got me into it. So I'm like, okay, we've been working out at home for the past. Gyms could lose people to that if they don't keep their relationships in the community, going. And no one wants to see that. No one's, I don't know. No one's trying to like steal customers or anything, but you're right. If they don't cultivate the relationships or whatever, that could be the result, right? Oh, you kind of froze up on me here. Oh, wait, I think I'm getting you back. Can you hear me? I think the wind's blowing at the part in like a weird way or something. Oh, Miss Nat. Okay, we'll hang out here. I think Natalie will pop back in with us in a second. While I'm sitting here, I don't know if anyone was kind of listening to what Natalie and I were just talking about businesses building community right now. Like the time right now is to cultivate your community, right? Build your relationships. You may not be making money right now. It's very possible. Hopefully, you're probably losing money if you have fixed costs, or the expenses that you're paying. A very good chance you're losing money, but you're not losing as much because when the tide turns and it comes back on board, and that will happen. When that happens and things turn back to normal or back to usual, you just want to be prepared, right? You want to be prepared for that. You want to be prepared to take your customers back in, and have them come back on board. Hold on, let me check on Natalie here to see if. All right, I think she's trying to come back in. Let's see here. Are you back? I think you're back.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I think you're back. Yeah. I told everyone, I think I said the wind blew the wrong way, I think, or something. or it didn't blow the right way or blew the wrong way. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Yeah, I was left to try to discuss with just one person
Fitness.
what we were discussing. Yeah, it got really weird for a second. I was like, wait a minute. Well, let me talk to the people for a second. So I talked to the folks, talked to the audience. So, so I like what I told them while you were gone is the same thing we just said, but like any business, I just said businesses could be losing money, like probably a lot of money right now, but you're going to be losing more long term if you don't spend the time and energy to cultivate the community or keep in touch with your customers or whatever, right? Because long term you won't have any customers if you neglect them, right? So, and you were telling me that Chick-fil-A, the on Dolphin Street in Mobile, correct? That building specifically. So, you were talking about like sales and marketing, and then you were talking about the adjustments that Chick-fil-A is making or doing. And I think you said y'all figured out how to add even another, and you guys just did a renovation there where you were able to take you upped it from like 500,000 cars to 1,000,000 cars every 60 seconds or something or whatever. But you guys seriously just did something else where you're able to take even more cars on because you're not able to be open inside, right?
Yeah, definitely. My husband owns that store, and so we've continually had to push the envelope to meet our customer demand, which is awesome. Thank you to everyone who supports us. But with this time, with the dining room shut down and just the lack of people being able to come in and grab orders to go, we added a third lane. And so we really just had to take a risk on number one. It wasn't going to go smoothly the first couple days. We're just now getting into the stride of it this week. But, deciding how are we going to get even more people into our parking lot, get them in and out quickly so they can still feed their families, but also keep jobs for our team, because if we don't keep hitting those sales and get more cars in through our drive-through, then we have to keep adjusting our hours for labor and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, during this time, we really decided, okay, what can we do? So we added on a third lane, and then we also ordered from Epson. They create these like little hip printers that you attach to your hip, and you can swipe people's credit cards and print out the receipt right there at their car. So just like innovating in the moment of, you know, in which Chick-fil-A, a lot of stores have tested these things out. We share ideas with each other, which is great. But it's really what helps to keep the demand, being able to meet our customer demand. So,
I mean, so we were kind of chatting about, you know, oh, how sales had been hit hard for, and then I brought up the point. Imagine so I drove. It may have been yesterday where I passed by and saw the line at Chick-fil-A, right? Well, obviously around there's a number of fast food places.
yeah.
I saw like no one. I don't even know who was open and who was closed. I don't know. I think some of them were open. I did see a few cars at some other ones.
Yeah.
But you guys, as typical, had tons of cars, and you were saying how it was tough, right? Like you're like, man, you know, exactly what we're talking about. You know, sales are down. But you guys think how hard it is or tough it is for the other restaurants and how far down in sales, you know, they must be. And, you know, obviously they have the same thing. They have employees with hours and all that stuff. So like in this time, I'm cheering people on that are innovating or can do well. I mean, let's say someone's in an industry that's doing fine right now. Like, and there are those industries and some of them are actually excelling. I kind of made a joke post today on Facebook. I think I said ring lights, webcams, and streaming softwares. I was like 3 things that are doing like really, really well right now. And there's a ton of stuff, right? There's toilet paper's obviously doing okay. Lysol's okay. Hand sanitizer, you know, all doing fine. Like, so, but even all the other industries that are doing okay or doing fine, like we actually need them to do well. And if anyone's listening or hears this later that is like kind of scared or hesitant to sell your service because it's kind of tough right now, like sell your service, sell your product, because actually the whole economy is like relying on that, because the whole economy can't go to zero. Like we need the economy to keep churning. So if you're able to sell your product and service right now where a lot of people aren't, like keep selling your product and service. You know, I'm just saying hats off to you. It's okay. Like doing commerce right now is fine, you know?
Yeah. Well, and online businesses are not going anywhere, especially right now. And so if anybody can get online and do more, even with me, like I'm having to do my coaching via video versus in person. And so trying to say, okay, what can I be doing, whether it's a newsletter or with you guys, like doing these live shows, I think your brand is growing even more because people are getting to know you guys more as Mobile Rundown. What is Mobile Rundown? What do you do? And that y'all are online more probably this last week than you have been able to give time to with doing these kinds of things. So I think online is like, if you can do anything, whether it's, I know y'all talked about selling your shirts and like people are really interested in those.
It's really crazy because last night, this is going to sound weird, but well, I mean, no, you'll probably get it. I guess it's kind of like a entrepreneur marketer person. I couldn't sleep very well last night, but it's the first time this has happened to me in quite some time. I actually couldn't sleep very well because I was kind of excited. Like my mind was racing. I was thinking about what we're doing right now with this technology, which this is not new technology. Like streaming live on Facebook is not new. Doing Zoom is not new, although I think thousands of people have just heard of Zoom, you know, this week. But I myself as an entrepreneur has been forced. I've been given the gift of some extra time, and I've been forced to change my strategies. And it's been, in my opinion, is beautiful. Like, we are just in the last 4 days, we've created things that we're doing now that I think will remain in our brand. Like they won't go away. Like, I'm pretty sure the Mobile Rundown will now continue to have some show. I don't know if it'll be daily or if it'll be every other day, or if it'll be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't know the answer there, but like it will exist and it will remain. And now using this tool, and I'm using different tools now that like 48 hours ago, I didn't know that this tool that I'm using right now existed, and I'm getting to sample some of these things, right? So, a lot of people I think are going through that. Like you talking about your coaching and using Zoom or online conferencing or whatever. Well, like what you can do some of that now. Maybe you're the same way. Maybe you're looking at it saying, "Oh wow, like why not just use this as a normal tool, like in my coaching business?" You know?
No, I've been like the last year, I'm like, man, everyone is doing online coaching. Why am I not doing this? But I thought, well, I'm going to miss out on the personal side and like the, you know, face to face, but this is face to face. And so I'm realizing now that like I have an avenue and now I can learn more about it and how can I like streamline it and make it better and programming and all of that stuff that I've never even considered in the last year. So I think it's really awesome to just give you ideas in the midst of like things that feel uncertain.
I'm with you. And the face to face thing, like I guess it's almost like there's a little barrier you have to get past or a wall you have to jump over. Like I guess at first you can be like, well, this isn't as personal. Like we're not in person or we can't give each other a high five or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, you're right. It's still, once you get comfortable with it, it's still pretty intimate. And it's like we're in the same room having a conversation, we're chatting, we're one-on-one. And you're right. I think the tool can be used in that manner. And you can still connect in person if you're able to, but it just doesn't have to be every time, right? So maybe you just shift strategies. And I mean, obviously companies are seeing this right now, right? Using Zoom all day, whatever. Schools are doing it, you know, with the students right now. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Like as crazy as it sounds, I'm just like, what is going to happen? What's going to be permanent? What's not going to be permanent? I don't know. I'm super, super interested to see, and only time will tell, right? Like, I mean, no one has a crystal ball. Like we don't know what's going to be permanent or not. So.
Yeah. And I think that for us, like as humans it's like that. I can't remember who created this of the carrot in front of you. That's like something to a reward, something to look forward to. And I think in order for us to stay like in a positive mindset right now, we have to be thinking about forward thinking. And what is there something to look forward to? Because right now, a lot of people can't be planning vacations or they have this and this to look forward to with this person or going out to an event because those things are not applicable right now. So what can you be looking forward to in another area of your life that can help you, whether it's grow your business, grow yourself personally, growing your family, your friendships, whatever it might be, but trying to have something to look forward to helps you with trying to stay in that positive mindset.
No, that's a good point. Totally agree. And you, just to plug, I don't know if you would do it, but let's make this an opportunity for you to just tell folks like what you do in the realm of coaching, like of life coaching, like tell folks what you do and how they can connect with you and who you would be good for and all that kind of stuff. Like let's chat about that for a second.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. I've been doing life coaching for about 2 years now. Is that right? No, about 2.5. Yeah. So this year will be my 3rd year. What I do is I meet one-on-one typically with clients and motivate you and coach you towards your goals, dreams that you've had for your life that maybe you haven't been able to get towards. And then I also love to help people like look at things that have been obstacles or blocks that have kept them from getting to where they want to be in their life, whether it's their health or their personal development. Things like stress and anxiety are things that I really love to help people work through because I know how much those things, especially for a lot of you that are business owners, that stress takes a toll on you. And so trying to help coach you towards finding some things that really help you feel balanced and at peace so that you can live just a happy and full life. So that's kind of what I do with coaching. I specifically do one-on-ones, but I also do group coaching and I kind of more call it consulting, with nonprofits and businesses to help them in different areas that they need help with. So I've been working with Chick-fil-A for 10 years and I love helping teams, specifically with hiring, team morale, leadership development, just things that helps your business or your nonprofit grow and thrive and that kind of thing. So that's what I do.
Cool. No, that's good. That's a good overview. That's really cool. So, do you any final thoughts or anything else that you want to talk about before we before we end it? I'm happy to keep chatting, or if you have more stuff you want to chat about, or we can kind of end it here. It's your call.
Yeah. Well, April 1st, next week, I'm going to be launching a new website called Flourish CCC. So coaching, consulting, and community.
Oh, cool.
I'd love for you guys to check it out. But overall, I'm so thankful to be here tonight, and just want to encourage each of you, just as you're going into the weekend and maybe down about not being able to go out or spend time with friends, just be thinking about and focusing on gratitude, looking at the things in your life that are important to you and what makes you happy, and just writing those down every day. As we're going through all of this, it really helps you just lift your mind above the other things that might bring you down. So
that's good. I could do better at that. I'm taking note. Write it down. Gratitude every day. Got it. That's good. So Flourish CCC. Is it .com? Okay.
Yeah,
flourishccc.com.
April 1st. So
very cool. Well, exciting. Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for driving to the park in order to take the call and stream with us. I appreciate it. Yeah. And have a good evening, and we'll connect more soon.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Y'all have a good night.
All right. See you, Natalie.
Okay. Bye.